Old Forknut, bad luck Jimmy, man. I just had to come in here and make a video on this. So the news finally came out. I'm pretty sure Kawasaki posted it that we will not be seeing Austin Forkner returning for the 2022 season. That was not really a surprise after seeing him flip and fly and flail down the start straight of the main event of Anaheim 1. Okay, pretty much to me looked like he twisted his leg, ACL, MCL, I don't even know what you want to call it, but twisted up, muffed up, almost looked like he broke his leg on the start straight, just going to keep it honest with you. And even when Ricky Carmichael kind of saw it, you could tell Carmichael kind of had to stop himself a little bit because he almost was like, yeah, you can see directly where he shredded his leg in half. But Carmichael kind of caught himself a little bit during the actual broadcast. Can Spency Boy stay on the track? Alrighty. So this is actually a little bit of a different Anaheim 1 custom track right here on Supercross 5. This one's a little bit easier than that other one that I was on for the recap video of Anaheim 1. Those Supercross triples are crazy, bro. But anyways, poor Fortner, I feel bad for the kid. He's kind of going through that real typical, just that, can't get himself going, bad luck. I mean, I'm going to be straight up Spency Boy honest with you right now. I think Fortner's totally done. I'm not just talking about done for the season. I'm not just talking about done on a 250 and he's going to come back on a 450. I'm talking about, I feel like he's basically done all the way around, like career is over type done. That's what I'm just getting that vibe now. I'm just getting that inclination. I'm not saying Fortner is not going to try to ride a 450, but maybe next year he'll go to an HEP Suzuki team or something like that. That's definitely possible. But I don't think we're ever going to see Austin Forkner really be a 450 contender or I don't know. I feel like after this wreck right here that he had in Anaheim 1, I felt like last year he was on the chopping block. He really had a lot to prove, and he had that big crash with Jet Lawrence. You can say that was kind of like Lawrence's fault. I feel like that really saved Forkner last year, because it was almost like, well, it wasn't even really Forkner's fault. It was like somebody else kind of took him out. But even the year before that, I felt like Forkner was on the chopping block. Even 2 years ago, I felt like, okay, Forkner's really going to have to prove something this year. And then something happened to him that year. Then he had the year with Jet Lawrence crashing into him, As you can see, Spency Boy crashing right here. Whoa, bro, there we go. A little double crash, baby, little double crash. We got a fucking wad of lappers right here. But yeah, so then he comes out this year, literally can't even make it down the start straight, all the way down the start straight of the main event of the first round of 2023, and I think he actually did qualify pretty good, so he was definitely still kind of right there in it. If I remember his heat race properly, he was kind of got a weird start, but then he worked his way up near the front, so it was looking like, okay, maybe Fortner has somewhat of a chance, and he had one of the worst kind of crashes that you can possibly have on the start straight. He ran into one guy, bounced off of one guy right out of the gate. Then he hit the other guy, and it did this weird almost like a high side type. I don't know if his start device caused the front end to do something kind of weird. I'm not really sure what happened with that, but nonetheless, it was way worse of a crash than you would expect off of a start straight. And he hit his leg the worst way he possibly could. The bike basically just steamrolled his leg as he was coming down, just flat. He kind of jumped. The way the bike the way the bike kind of twisted around it, it almost launched Fortner up in the air, almost like he come off of a jump or something like that, even though he didn't. The bike high-sided so bad that it kind of shot him up in the air, and then he landed with that impact with with the bike landing on his leg. And I could just tell right away. I was like, this ain't good, bro. This ain't good. So in my head, it's almost like Austin Fortner has used up all of his 9 lives at this point, you know? He's exhausted that sort of thing in his career. Even if he wants to try to come back, I just feel like he's had so many injuries and so many different things happen to him that at this point, it's almost like it's like a replay of the whole Adam Cianciarulo type situation, but I almost even think Forkner's kind of having even a little bit more bad luck than Adam Cianciarulo. You know, I think Forkner's like a Adam Cianciarulo bad luck plus a little bit, you know. But yeah, definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think you're going to see Forkner? I don't know how he's going to stay on Monster Energy Cowie on a 250 after this. I mean, shit, that feels like that's been forever ago since he did where he almost won all the main events and then he crashed out. Like, it's just been so long since Fortner has really been able to even really prove anything, like championship-wise, you know? So I'm like, I don't know how that works with the points, like pointing out in the 250 class. I'm not sure. I know they just like changed that rule a little bit. I don't know if that works in Fortner's favor or not. But the fact that he does, I think it does work in his favor because he doesn't technically have a 250 championship yet. And I don't think he ever will at this point, really. Because it just gets to the point where you have so many injuries, it literally physically changes your body. You know, that's what Roxon is going through. Spency Boy can't keep it straight off the jump faces, bro. Haven't rode very many laps on this particular Anaheim 1 custom track right here. Kind of learning it as I go here. Interesting to see the difference in the 250s and the 450s on Supercross 5, But yeah, nonetheless, though, I don't know. I feel like he's done it one too many times. You know, he's had, you know, chance after chance after chance after chance, and then another chance, and then another chance after that, and he's still having the worst luck you could possibly have. But even last year, it wasn't even himself doing it. It was somebody else running into him in a certain kind of way. So it's almost like he's building up this bad mojo kind of vibe around him, you know, this bad luck kind of vibe around him. And if you guys don't know, in Supercross or Motocross, when these guys start getting that sort of vibe about them, that Adam Cianciarulo bad luck kind of vibe, it's like really hard for them to shake it. It's like really hard for them to get out of it. To get out of that, whatever that funk is, where they just can't seem to, you know, like Jeremy Martin in Supercross, basically Jeremy Martin period, since he won those outdoor titles. He's the same kind of way. Just for whatever reason, something's always happening, you know, whether it's him making the mistake or whether it's just some weird bad luck situation. It's just like Adam Cianciarulo, but Adam Cianciarulo had the saving grace of coming back and winning that 250 outdoor title after he had that weird slip up on the last lap of the Supercross championship. So it kind of saved his ass a little bit. Then he came out in 450 Supercross and had some like second place finishes and stuff. So Adam Cianciarulo sort of kind of pulled himself out of that a little bit, but then he kind of went right back into it. You know, he started having injuries again. So everybody's kind of waiting on Cianciarulo to go back in there and do something. But yeah, at the end of the day, my personal opinion is I just don't think you're ever going to see the Fortner that you saw. What the fuck is everybody doing? Everybody just fading off of the track right there, bro. Oh my gosh. Hey, Spency Boy floating. Oh my God. Okay. So, but yeah, that's kind of my opinion. I really don't think you're ever going to see that same Fortner again. Like I say, I guess there's a chance that he comes back next year on Monster Cowie on a 250 again. I guess there's a chance for that. I don't really know at this point. But if not, you know, this was kind of the year that it was like, okay, if Fortner can just make it through the season, maybe he'll get like a HEP Suzuki ride on a 450 next year or something like that. And like best case scenario would have been like Fortner winning the Supercross title this year on a 250 and then going to like Monster Cowie on a 450 next year, or like Husky on a 450 or Gas or something like that, you know. but the fact that he can't even make it down the entire start straight of the main event without absolutely wadding his shit up, it's just not a good look. Like, no matter how much you can say Fortner has the speed and he's got this and he's got that, well, that don't really mean anything if you can't even make it down the start straight after you've just had like 3 or 4 years of absolute terrible luck, terrible crashes, cannot get through a single Supercross series unscathed. You know, it's just getting to that point where I just can't really see a 450 team really putting all their chips in for Fortner at this point. He's starting to get into that where it's just, I just can't see it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even if Fortner tries to come back on a 450 or he tries to come back on Monster Energy Cowie next year on a 250, I just still don't think you're ever going to see that Fortner that you saw whenever he was super dominant that 1 year where he almost won every main event and then he crashed out. But this right here needs to be big proof, big, you know, an eye-opener to all of you dudes out there that think, oh, well, if I'm I'm like a big-time amateur dirt bike racer. I'm on Monster Energy Cowie. I've won Loretta Lynn's this many times, and I'm going to go out there and be the next Tomac. Well, have you seen what's happened to Cianciarulo? Have you seen what's happened to Fortner? Okay, so there's the proof right there. It don't matter how much of a hyped up amateur career that you have. It don't matter how much of a, Hayden Deegan, Cianciarulo, whatever kind of amateur career you want to talk about, Michael Essie, believe the hype, whatever kind of, more times than not, it actually seems like the bigger the amateur you are, it's almost like it builds so much pressure by the time you get to the pro class that a lot of times it doesn't work out in your favor. So as far as Fortner, I don't know what's going to happen at this point, man, but personally, even if he tries to come back, I just don't think you're ever going to see Fortner really do it like you thought he was going to do it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think that's just what it's shaping up to be. So either way, man, at the end of the day, no crash is worth it in Supercross or Motocross because it can end your entire career. It can change the way you physically. Adam Cianciarulo says he can barely even hang on to the bike. He's dealing with, hand numbness out of that one side. It changes your entire career. Any little crash you have can totally change your entire career. So people really need to sit down and understand that. I think it's a bigger deal than we make it out to be in pro Supercross and Motocross. I feel like people just kind of look at it like, well, if you're not crashing, you're not going fast, bro. It's okay to crash here and there, bro. No, it's not. You want to stay off the ground at all cost. You never even want to touch that dirt. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have a long-lasting career in this shit, your number one goal should be don't crash that bike. Keep it on 2 wheels no matter what.